Well, hello everybody. How's it going? I'm doing that typical mic check. But welcome to the first part of our 4-shot series for the Black Plague. And before we start, I just want everybody to kind of introduce their characters and who they are, and then we'll get started shortly after that. We'll start with Queen.
Hello, everybody. I'm Queen Corby, and I'm going to be playing Azalith Nilo, as better known, Coffee, the Wood Elf.
Nice. Paul.
Hi, I am your for the neighborhood Paul, and I'll be playing Yaka.
Bringing them back.
Bringing them back.
Clinton.
Hello everybody, I am Superdog18, and I will be playing Vangax Arcandor, the Aarakocra Cleric Fighter.
The lovely Laura.
I'm Glittering Moon Elf, and I will be playing Brienne, the Felatar.
And last but not least, Nordic.
I'm the Nordic Geek. I'll be playing a Furbolg Shaman, which is a homebrew class.
Sweet. So, before we get started, I don't know if there's any announcements that I can think of, but one of them is we are still on our road to affiliate here at the Dungeon Mechanics. So if you know anyone that would like to see all of our Dungeons and Dragons shenanigans, just shoot them our way. Other than that, also, if you are, subscribers to either myself, Queen Corby, FNH Paul, or Superdog, I think that's the only ones of us that stream, and you're in chat, you are eligible to use Luck and Inspo to give out to a player of your choice. Luck is a free reroll, and Inspo is a added d6 to any roll except for damage rolls, because that would be crazy.
Oh, make sure you drop those perks in the chat, y'all.
Yes, do it now.
Help us out. Help us to help you to enjoy Stax's
basically help them so that
Help
they
us
don't
survive.
die. But yes, so this is part 1 of a 4-shot, and our story is pretty plain and simple. We'll start with a couple of y'all and kind of work in everyone's characters until we're all in the same area. But essentially, we'll pick up with Joseph and Azalith, Coffee, as she's more notably referred to as. But the two of you have been kind of traveling here and there, and it's not until recent that you kind of like settled down in a forest-like area. The two of you just are trying to get reins on this whole Blood Wolf curse that Joseph has, even though he does seem to be maintaining it to the best of his capabilities. You've noticed, Coffee, as the short time that y'all have been together these past few weeks, we'll say. The two of you are in a forest. It's almost nighttime, so you're kind of winding down for the night. You did your hunts, your normal day-to-day traveling sort of thing, but the downtime has been relatively peaceful. You haven't seen or come across anything that's too difficult as the past previous months and or year may have been, especially for Azalith in question. But Joseph kind of looks to you, Coffee, as he's preparing the food that you both have gathered for the day. So, do you think we'll ever make it back to the others?
Can only hope, right?
And the two of you sit down and enjoy a peaceful meal. Somewhat peaceful. And can I have you roll a perception check?
$24.
Nice. As you're, finishing eating, you look and you notice something's a bit off. And it starts out subtle, but after a few moments pass, you notice that both you and Joseph are kind of becoming somewhat intangible as far as the consistency of you both tangibly being there. And let's see if Joseph hasn't picked up on it yet.
So she's kind of just sitting there. Joseph, does something seem a little off to you?
Off? He says as he looks around, not so much at the two of you, but checking the area to see if there's anything out of the ordinary. Once he doesn't find anything, he looks back to you with a puzzled expression on his face. Not that I know of. Was the food undercooked? I'm pretty sure I did the normal required amount, as you told me.
Coffee just shakes her head. Just, never mind. Maybe it's just me.
And as you wait there for another minute or two, Joseph goes to grab something, and it's at that point that he also realizes that your tangibleness is in fact fleeting. And he looks to you with just that yard stare of understanding, but also what is going on. Coffee, this isn't you, is it?
So you do feel that as well?
Yes, it's a bit off-putting.
Well, it's certainly not my doing.
And as you two try and figure this out, roll a Arcana check.
Nat 20 for a 22.
Okay. You feel this pulse kind of rush over your body. It's cooling, calming type pulse. And before you can say anything to Joseph, the two of you kind of vanish in the spot that you're at. And that's where we pick up with a certain half-orc. He has finished training some cadets, some people that want to learn how to better hunt and survive out in the wilderness. You, Yaka, are training as you normally do out in the woods, close to this sacred tree. Roll a either nature or history check, whichever is higher.
Nature or history? And we will go with nature. I mean, they're both a 1, but that's going to be an 18.
Okay. Yeah, you would know that this is one of the sacred trees known to Diademia. There's a couple here and there, but sacred trees are more or less rifts, or think of it as a easy passage between planes. These trees have been around for eons, millennia, for all you can tell. You just know that they're kind of coveted and also highly considered to be sacred. It's kind of frowned upon to do anything that would be detrimental to the tree's health.
Yaka's gonna obviously see the tree and just kind of point it out to some of the trainees.
All right, so that is magic. Just don't do it. Just stay away. Magic bad. I've discussed this multiple times. When you're hunting, if something is magical, just back away slowly. All right? Trust me, it doesn't matter if it's a tree, if it's a fungus, if it's a person especially. Just back up. All right? Now, if they come at you, then that's when you pull out the axe. But trees won't come at you, so you keep the axe away, so that way, magic stays away from you.
And as this half-orc barbarian is explaining to these impressionable cadets, they're kind of like looking at you, absorbing everything you say, because you're Yaka. You're the one that took down the Blood Wolf King. Like, everyone knows Yaka, right? What he says must be important. Magic must be bad.
Just stay away from magic. Magic. When you're walking around, you find something magical, back the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
Words to live by. Words to live by, sports fans.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception, that'll be a 15.
Sweet. Around this point, you hear like a subtle hiss in the air. You're familiar with arrows and the sound they make right before they are about to hit. And I need you to make a dex save with advantage, because that's a thing.
Yay, barbarians. Oh, thank goodness for that. You said a dex save?
Yes.
21.
Okay. Hearing the hiss with enough time, you're able to grab your axe, a refurbished, rekindled Donar Axe 2.0, after its first cracking? I don't know how. Bad roll shenanigan not on your part.
Oh, I remember the
because
rolls,
DM
but regardless.
requested it.
Yeah.
This axe
Essentially,
must be
this
destroyed.
the dragonborn axe that he homebrewed a little too potently. He did not dilute the axe enough. Had to go.
So, yeah, you're able to get the Donar axe and kind of like sever the arrow in its wake. And you follow the path of where it was shot down, and you see a certain half-elf kind of like smirking at you. Yaka, you're not going to bore the young lads, are you? I would suggest maybe teaching them how to defend themselves.
How about I show them how to throw an axe?
He pulls out one of his little hand axes and then just looks at the half elf, like twirling the axe on his finger, like give me a fucking reason. I will hit you with this. You are within range.
Advin just like ducks behind the nearest tree, and you see him like uncork one of his satchels of wine, just like a big water skin just filled with wine. And he just
And that, cadets, is the art of intimidation. Could I have actually He was 50 feet away. The chances of me really hitting him, not that high. But he doesn't know that.
Roll.
You have enough confidence and bravado. Most people will back down. Except for you.
And he points at the halfling.
You might not want to try that. They're probably not going to work out, but doesn't hurt to give it a shot once or twice.
So are you gonna have me roll for what?
Either persuasion, intimidation, or deception. Your choice. Deal.
We are gonna go with intimidation.
Oh, okay.
That's a 25.
Yep, they're definitely taking it in. So as you're expressing to these young, impressionable whippersnappers, you notice off at the corner that the tree starts to give off this like faint glow.
Did the arrow hit it?
No.
Okay.
God damn it, Advent! Gods be damned.
Yaka is gonna see this and then immediately start motioning.
Back up. Move.
And Yaka's actually gonna kind of creep around, like kind of getting, because he knows that it can kind of be used as a doorway, right? So he's just
more or less, yeah.
So he's gonna have his axe out and kind of just standing in front of it, just prepping for whatever might come through. And he's just trying to get the other guys backing up.
Okay.
Advent, ready another arrow.
Roll a quick persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oof. That's gonna be a 9.
Okay, so halfling listens to you, but there's a kind of like bull-headed drow wanting to prove himself. He pulls out his battle axe and he's just at the ready right next to you. I can take whatever comes out of this thing.
Yaka's like there at the door and he's just, after hearing this, just like,
Would you like me to tell your parents?
No,
When
sir.
I have to bring you back on a shield.
You said that we should be ready for anything, and this is something.
Something that this is probably too big for you to handle. You barely survived a dire wolf. What makes you think you can survive something coming through a magic tree?
I mean, if we don't learn, we'll never.
Just follow my commands.
Yes, sir.
and then Yaka's just readies. He doesn't rage, but he's getting very close. Like he's on the verge.
Okay. Make a just make a nature check. I was going to say Arcana, then I was like, it's Yaka.
It's Yaka. It ain't gonna matter. Nature check. That is gonna be a 10.
Okay. You notice the light that is kind of radiating from this tree starts to get brighter and brighter by the second.
Shit. Yaka's actually gonna start kind of taking a step back and then pushing the drow with him, like,
Yep. This might be big.
Okay.
A little room.
As you're pushing him back, this pulse kind of like pushes out from the tree, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
oh, my specialty. So that is gonna be wisdom saving throw. So that's gonna be a 19.
Okay. Yaka, you watch this pulse kind of like shoot through all of you in your area, and as you look, one by one, each of the trainees get hit by this intense light, and as it intensifies over their bodies, you watch as they just burn out, more or less. The light permeates through their entire vestige, and first the drow feels it almost too intently, considering he's a drow. And after the light radiates through him, he turns into ash, more or less, just at his stature.
He just goes pure Peter. He just Peter Parker's on me.
Peter,
I don't feel so good, Mr. I don't feel so good, Mr.
Strong.
Yaka.
Mr. Yaka. But yeah, it just burns through each of them. It hits the halfling next, and then taking out the rest of the cadets. And instinctively, you look back at the tree, and the last thing that you see is the light hitting into Advin, and that radiant beam kind of shoots through him, and then everything kind of goes white.
Neat.
So, meanwhile, Coffee, you and Joseph arrive at a place that is familiar to you. You stand in the cusp of this sacred tree noted within the sacred forest of your hometown, your home village, more or less. And as you two appear corporeal again, you see another image kind of materializing in front of you. And after a brief moment, Brienne stands before you. The last thing that you remember is kind of hanging out with Brienne on your adventures, and then eventually you parted ways, ending up in Diademia for quite a while. Meanwhile, Brienne went on to do other contracts, even taking on one for a particular Oni. And what brought her here is still a mystery. She's not quite sure herself. However, something's different about not only yourself, Coffee, and Joseph, but Brienne as well. You're no longer a druid, Coffee. As you stand there, your outfit kind of has changed into this long, dark dress. You feel different, not as in tune as previously with nature and things of the wildfire spirit. Similarly, Brienne, you feel different. Your previous class has now been traded off with something more akin to Coffee's nature. You are encompassed by druidic clothing, and your weapons and things of that nature have also changed appropriately. But yes, Coffee, you see Brienne kind of standing there, and Brienne, you see Coffee and this other male high elf standing next to her.
So, funny story. I don't think Brienne has actually ever seen Coffee without her mask on.
Nice. So yes, Brienne, you see this wood elf, redheaded, and this high elf, black and white streaked-haired male elf as well, kind of in front of you as you appear.
Coffee is going to look at Brienne wide-eyed. It can't be. Brienne? Is that really you?
Have we met before?
And she kind of looks at her a bit puzzled, like, Brienne, you don't remember me. And she kind of thinks for a moment. Wait a minute. She kind of reaches into her bag and she pulls out this like mangy looking bark mask, which is very familiar to Brienne.
Coffee?
There it is.
And that only makes Brienne more confused because she remembers Coffee being an old hag.
Brienne, what are you doing here?
I don't know, in all honesty. What are you doing here, and why are you not an old hag?
That's a story for another time. But to be quite honest, I don't know why we're here either. She kind of looks back to Joseph. I'm just as clueless as you are.
Well, I guess the first thing we should figure out is where here is exactly.
Coffee kind of just like rubs the back of her head. I know where we are, actually.
You do?
Yes. We're actually in the sacred forest of near my hometown, actually.
Oh, well, that's rather convenient. Sacred forest near your hometown. I thought you were from a different world.
That's what I thought as well.
And Brienne is kind of eyeing Coffee, and she asks her suspiciously, "You're not going to start rubbing mud in my fur again, are you?"
Unfortunately, I don't have any mud on me.
Joseph just kind of looks confused between the two of you. So you two know each other?
Yes, we actually used to adventure together.
Under different circumstances, I knew her as being quite different.
Ah, you must be referring to the other Coffee. Joseph, knowing it's best to watch what you say around certain people. Calling them an old hag may not necessarily be the best approach in most cases.
Yes, Joseph. She knows me as Old Hag Coffee.
Ah, yes. The good years. He kind of eyes both of you. Well, I am completely sorry. My name is Joseph Riviere, my dear.
I am Brienne.
Brienne, nice to meet you. If you are a friend of Coffee's, then you are a friend of mine.
Yes, and with that, we should probably go.
Well, you can lead the way, I'm sure.
Yep, let's just move. The Coffee just starts walking. She, you notice she kind of walks out of there real quick.
She seems in an awful hurry to leave what she said is her home.
Yes, it would appear so, Miss Brienne. But we shan't dawdle. She will most likely leave us here if we do not keep up.
Most likely.
And as the two of you kind of head after coffee, Yaka, the light, intense as it may be, starts to dim, and you find yourself kind of like in this radiant pool surging forward as you pulse through what seems like endless void. Make a perception check.
That's an 18.
Okay. Off to your right, you see what first seems a bit confusing, perplexing, but you see wings. The colors of the feathers are very vibrant, which catches your eye. But then you notice that it's attached to a very humanoid type bird-like creature that you've never seen before. And easing your way closer, you see this male bird man thing kind of riding the currents forward.
Right. Okay. So we're going through a thing, like we're getting like pulled through this thing, or like I'm.
Yeah, think of it like if Lightspeed was a rideable current and you're just like soaring.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, like
where Thor and
when
Loki are
Thor
getting
and
pulled
Loki-
through in Heim. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yaka is going to kind of do his best to orient his body upright, and is gonna have not his battle axe, or he's gonna. I think he still have his battle axe out. Actually, he's gonna attempt to kind of like rage and get ready because he doesn't know what the hell is going on. He just knows that all of a sudden, bright light, and now there's a giant bird man next to him. Yeah.
As you attempt to tap into that inner rage, that inner monologue of Erg, you hit like a wall, like a solid, like what normally is like this pool of energy that kind of gives you a boost is just flat.
And this is confusing Yaka. And so he's trying again. Once again, this is now just Infinity War Hulk or Bruce Banner trying to turn to the Hulk, where it's just not happening. He's just and then like he takes it and he kind of like takes his axe and then kind of like cuts his hand a little bit, like just trying to get like what the hell? It's like nothing's happening. He's just like fucking magic.
So, Vengax, you don't see him first, but you hear him kind of.
You hear the
getting
yelling of
closer
a
to
half
you,
orc.
and you look over and you see this half orc just intently doing something. You're not quite certain yet, but this, not wanting to steal the line, but this appears to be his first time ever traversing over currents of this manner. This isn't something that's new to you. You have traveled through many sacred trees of similar accord, typically on missions, which is where you're headed currently. You are in an occupation similar to that of a guardian type nature. You're essentially sent out to these different worlds to try and stop cataclysmic events that could be taking place. And as you're, in the mindset of I'm going on my next mission, you come across this half-orc that, in all theoretics, shouldn't be there.
So Vengex just looks over. Hey, there, bub. You doing all right? Just,
Where the hell are we?
He's still like trying to be, because I imagine we're going like this, and he's trying to right himself, like getting upright, and he's just like, fucking.
Well, you shouldn't fight it too much there. You're traveling through sacred trees to our next destination.
Right? What? I don't travel through sacred tree. God, how do you?
Well, how did you get in here if you didn't travel? If you don't travel through sacred trees?
I don't know. The tree lit up. It hit me. It, I think, killed some people. And what? How do I turn around?
Well, you don't. You just ride it to your next destination. Just relax and wait till you get there.
It's just like he wants to swing at you, but he also is like very much like can't get in range. Like, God, stupid fucking shit.
Look, you
Unhelpful bird.
just lay there, quote unquote, and accept your fate. You can't move too much out of it. You're just riding the current. It's very relaxing. I don't know what you're having so much trouble with.
I hate magic.
He's like, he's still, like I said, this entire time he is like trying to fight it, and he's just like rolling. He's like going forward, backwards. It's very much like if somebody's in like the indoor skydiving thing. It was just like,
I don't like this.
all while holding an axe. Like,
God, just.
As he keeps doing that, Vengex just like extends his wings a little bit and moves them, kind of like flaps an aircraft, and just turns right over on his back and goes this. So he's like laying down on it. He's like, really, man, like just relax and accept it. You'll get there just fine.
Yaka refuses. Yaka is not. He is too bullheaded for this shit. He's like,
I have fought beings from other places. I have killed tyrants. I will not let this goddamn God.
And as Yaka is fumbling to gain ground, it comes close to your final destination there, Vengax, and you can kind of feel the current slowing a bit. And as you all approach, I need Yaka to make a dex save.
not an that one. Not an that one. I don't care if I fail this. I just need a not that one. You land on your neck and die. And so ends the tale of Yaka. You fall on your axe and die.
Oh no. Self-decapitation.
All right. Oh God. Oh, that's some like Final Destination shit. Dex saving throw. It's gonna be an 18.
Okay. So the next thing that happens is another similar pulse kind of like reverberates in that area, and everything kind of like shunts a bit as the current slows to a halt, and you find yourself now in this open space. You and Vengax kind of materialize in this forest near this sacred tree. The two of you land without much effort on your feet, luckily. Vengax kind of like slowing to a halt with his wings. And the two of you appear in this sacred forest, presumably alone.
I imagine Yaka like hits the ground and is like skidding, like just like somebody just hit the brain, skid, like.
Vengax will walk over to him and just like start helping him. Like, see you, friend. I told you, you'll get to where you need to go.
He brushes you. He very much like shoulder brushes. Like,
What the hell was that? Where? Where is here?
I imagine Vangax would know where here is.
Yes, you would know.
See, you went there on purpose. I hope so.
You're debriefing that you're on a continent known as Adrana, and you're here because there's going to be an event happening within the next few days that could potentially cause this whole realm and or planet to no longer exist.
Yeah, so we're here. We're in Adrana. I don't know why you're here if you didn't choose to go through the sacred tree, as you said. But I'm here to prevent this event that is going to destroy this world or plane.
All right. Well, I need to get back. How do I?
And he's Yaka's just like putting his hand on the tree because he's never known how the tree works. He just knows it does, and so he's like pushing on the tree, like
I need to get. Hey, open!
and he's just like banging on the tree, like trying to open it like a door, like
Open the door!
It doesn't work like that, friend.
slowly turns.
Hey, how does it work?
Does Vangax know?
You know that the amount of energy it takes for the sacred trees to activate isn't something that comes from nowhere. Essentially, it uses portions of the planet's energy, its arcane focus, kind of like naturally within the surrounding ambience, as well as kind of the correct approach to it, more or less. You need to know where you're going, kind of deal. You need to know where the other sacred tree could potentially be that you want to connect to. There has to be like a tapped-in flow between the recipient and the tree in order for it to progress you through wherever you need to go correctly.
Well, basically, you need to know where you're going, where the other tree is, where you are, and then you kind of will yourself through it. But there's a lot more that goes into it too. It taps into like planetary and a whole bunch of other energy, and you gotta have the energy within you.
I'm gonna make this way easier. As you're going on explaining this, just deer in the headlights. Yaka understood the first bit of like,
All right, know where that tree is. There's trees here. Wheel myself through the. Wait, I gotta tap into the what? Into the how?
and he's just
Okay. All right, it's fine.
Magic, friend. It uses magic.
Breathe. Advent said to breathe.
He
Right.
just like cocks his head like, what are you doing there, friend?
I'm Yaka. Nice to meet you, Mr.
and he kind of sticks his hand out, like he's like really focusing on like doing this. He's like,
Be nice to people you meet.
like it sounds
Oh.
very rehearsed and very like drilled into his head by someone who is much better at people skills.
And as you extend your hand out, Yaka, it's at that point that you notice your attire is slightly different. It's not the typical barbarian getup that you are used to. There's a bit more metal and belt straps and things of that nature kind of adorned around you.
Oh, what fresh magic bullshit.
While he's
Where's
doing
my-
that, Vangax just reaches out, grabs his hand, shakes it sideways because he still hasn't gathered all the intricacies of customs and whatnot. It just shakes it sideways like, I'm Vangax. And what's wrong with your clothing?
I don't. He kind of like, he's looking at it, he's like, I don't wear. It's just, I move better without the armor. I don't.
He like kind of pulls the chest plate off and kind of like drops it. He's like, oh, he like stretches out. I don't like
I move better without all the metal. It's too much. It makes it easy.
Oh.
You become too.
Well, understandable, sir. That's why I like
I mean,
light armor.
you
Anything
know.
higher than light armor, I can't even fly. So I get it.
So he kind of
But
takes
why
the
wear it then?
breastplate off and like chucks it.
I wasn't wearing.
He takes the helmet that was off.
What the fuck? Like, I don't. I am so. These. Magic. All right. Hang on. Okay. Standing in the forest. Pulse of light. Radiant, maybe. I don't. Turns some people to ash. Another bright light, and then I was flying with you. And now I'm in different clothes. Okay. All right. So you know how to do that, though, right?
More or less, yeah.
So you can take me back then, right?
No. I told you there has to be a massive amount of energy pool first up in from the planet or plane. That's not there anymore. We used it to get here, or I used it to get here. I don't know how you used it to get here.
Okay. All right. It's fine. Still fine. No, not angry. Okay.
Would you
So-
like to just accompany me? Since you clearly don't quite know where you are.
Will you eventually be able to use the tree again?
Yes. Of course.
Okay. So, if you
He kind of points the axe.
promise to get me home, then I will help you with your calamity world-ending shenaniganry.
Sure. Sounds fair.
Good. God, I hate Advent. Why do you have to use, gotta go by, show him the fucking tree. God, I hate him so much sometimes.
He puts it on. He does check. Is his wedding ring still on?
Make a perception check.
Would my passive perception work for
What's your
noticing if my
passive
ring-
perception?
My passive perception is a 15. Would I notice if my wedding ring to Advent
Yeah,
is
it's
still
not
there?
there.
It's not there.
No.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, this can't. Oh, this is the third one. I can't.
Now what's wrong?
My-
Marge, you missed.
It's the wedding ring. They have a weird thing with rings. I don't know. I lost the first one and the second one, and then then this one. He said if I lose this one, he's gonna put it in my neck. I don't know if he meant like in a fun way or if he meant he was just gonna punch me in the neck with it. Fuck. All right, it's fine. I'm with you. Where are we going?
DM, where are we going?
Make a perception check, you two.
Why don't you just tell me where we're going?
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
I got an 8.
You kind of catch Vengax off guard as you're going through these whole life-changing
The
scenarios.
range
right
of
after
emotions
another.
of can't rage, wearing different clothes, lost wedding ring.
But as you do that, Yaka, you hear kind of almost the sound of like a twig snap in the brush of the forest.
Yaka immediately like gets down to a crouch, axe out, like just instinct, and kind of like facing towards it, like just big.
Magax just cocked his head like, well, now what is perplexing you, friend?
Down.
He just stands up like, down. What is wrong with you?
Yaka does the same look that he gave the drow now to you, like God, like
He's like, oh, fuck, no, I have to keep him alive. I heard something.
Oh. Where at? He's looking around, Vengax.
Yaka's like, how is this bird alive?
He's just kind of staring at the direction of where he heard the twig breaking.
And as you kind of look over in that area, Vinyax, you and Yaka are able to pick up kind of like slight mumbling, as if someone's talking or saying something. You can't figure out the words, but it does sound humanoid, not animalistic in nature.
Yaka's gonna, I guess, kind of slowly approach.
As you get closer, Piotish, make a perception check.
Anyone?
21. Yep. You notice the half orc and the Aarakocra bird man. They're kind of, standing out like a sore thumb. But you notice that the half orc is kind of approaching in your direction, your general direction.
So Piotish would kind of round around the trees, and he's just a large furbolg. He's got the animal skins, and he's generally cocking his ear in different directions. But he pays you mind, but he's not saying anything to you directly.
Excuse me, friend?
Yes.
What, are you friend? What you doing in the tree there? I need to just calm down my friend here. He's a little tight wound.
He does look a little angsty. I've known many like him.
I'll show you angst.
But he did. Yaka's holding his tongue because once again, magic man in the forest. He's like, I've seen this shit before.
I don't see many of you around here. What brings you here?
Well, I'm here, or sent here. There's an event kind of happened in a few days that will destroy the planet or plane, and I'm here to prevent that. This one has no idea how he got here.
And as he says that, Piotish, you get this feeling, this sense, kind of in tune with his words. You may not necessarily know what brought him here specifically, but you have felt a change in the spirits of the earth plane that you are on. They have gotten a lot more excited as of late, and the whispers have intensified in a way that generally forebodes a warning or foreboding danger to come.
Well, friend, I've felt the same thing. And he just kind of looks... It's almost like he's getting another conversation from somewhere else.
Are you a contact I'm supposed to meet? I was told to meet a contact, but I don't remember if I was told who or what.
I arrived here, but I don't know why I'm here. My name is Piotish.
Piotish. Well met. I am Vengax.
I'm Yaka.
It's nice to meet you.
Yaka, at this point, Yaka's kind of like put the axe away. Like, okay, obviously, like, all right, not enemy, or at least not bold enough enemy right now to warrant that hostility.
He'll nod and he like flicks his shoulder real quick, and then a raven would come down from the trees and perch on his shoulder.
I have no idea where we are.
We've gathered that much.
Yeah, right. So
You are
That is-
here in Sacred Forest.
Yaka's just kind of like looking around, absorbing everything. Like he knows forest, he kind of understands it, but like this, even with as much time as he has spent hunting and surviving and just doing his general stuff, like this whole thing just feels slightly off. Like when you get like an off-brand of a food where it's like it tastes close, but like there's some weird tinge to it. That's what it kind of feels like for him being here. He's like, everything looks familiar, everything looks right, but something isn't about it.
Oh. So where do we go from here?
And as you consult the voices, Piotish, there's kind of a slight calm as many of them hush themselves. And then, in various pitches and tones, many of them speak to you. One word. Run.
His eyes get big. Run. And he will grab Vengax and Yaka. He's a big furball too, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, Yaka's just like, what?
And
So,
I mean, he's gonna force them, but not force them. So if they, pull away, that's on them.
As soon as you get that initial pull, Yaka's like, oh, all right, here we're going. Like, it's like, Magic Man says run, we run.
can I have y'all roll acrobatics or athletics checks?
Damn.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Just to see the pacing.
22 for athletics.
Okay.
22 as well.
Okay.
For
24 for
Nice.
for athletics.
So you all are running for a little bit, and Yaka, you kind of like slow just slightly as you're like, why are we running? But then you like feel it. The forest kind of gives this hush, audible tone over the surrounding area, and as you look back to where you all were, there's this corrupting darkness, and it starts to envelope the trees, killing them off, withering them away, and that darkness starts to pull closer and closer towards the three of you.
Yaka's realizing he's not running as fast as he normally should be. As now he is no longer, it seems, he's no longer able to tap. He's like, essentially like running and trying to like Goku some fucking Super Saiyan shit right now, and it's not working. He's like, cut! Oh, what the hell? Oh, man, I hate it. So he's like running, but he's like feeling like he definitely feels like he's not running near as fast as he should be. He remembers this morning running faster than this.
And as you all are making it through the forest, being chased by this darkness, Coffee, Brienne, and Joseph, you all arrive at the village of. I'm gonna butcher this name.
The village of
Fainhill?
Fienhill.
Fienhill.
Fienhill, yeah.
Fienhill. You arrive, and the village looks similar to how you left it, Coffee, but also vastly different. There is notably less houses and things of that nature. It's gotten a lot smaller since you last saw, and it just seems a bit gloomish, as if they've been on hard times or something similar.
I could have sworn I ran the other way. How the hell did we end up back here? She's like thinking to herself, I'm sure I ran the opposite way. Damn it. She's gonna take her mask and put it on.
Coffee, what are you doing?
Trying not to be seen.
Seen by who? There's no one here.
Just in case. Because I don't want to be here.
Right. Where is here?
This is the village of Fien Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need to know. Let's go.
So a strange thing happens, Coffee, as you try and like beeline the three of you out of this village. You exit on the far west side and immediately re-enter on the east side of the village as if you just walked back into this looks familiar.
Thankfully, Coffee has this mask on because she has this look like, what in the actual fuck is going on right now?
It seems there's some force that wants to keep us here.
Why in the hell do they want to keep us here? Damn it, I don't want to be here.
Maybe there's someone that needs help. Should we go looking for anyone that might be?
Well, considering we can't leave, I guess.
Do you take them anywhere in particular, or?
She's going to kind of head to the village center, see if there's anything going on there.
Okay. As you make it to the center of the village, oddly enough, there's no activity. You've traveled through the village enough times to know that there's certain events and things that would cause many of the villagers to populate in the same area, but generally there's at least some traffic as far as people either showing up late or not wanting to attend, but so far it's been nothing but a ghost town.
She's kind of like looking around. This is rather odd. What is going on? And she's then gonna try to head to the village elder's house, see if there's anyone there.
You arrive to this very large, almost treehouse-esque type building. It is using a combination of the large trees in that area as well as makeshift bark and things of that nature to give it a pleasant elvish design. But you arrive at what you know to be the village elders' home of residence, and you see a light kind of glistening in one of the windows, signaling a candle or something being lit on the inside. And there are soft plumes of smoke coming out of the chimney top.
She's gonna knock on the door.
As you knock on the door, a couple of moments pass and the door opens and this young man kind of looks off at you. Yes, can I help you? And you see a man that's familiar to you, but not in the case of his current position. When you last saw him, he was much younger, but he looks at you May I help you?
Is the village elder here?
Yes, I'm the village elder.
She kind of cocks her head. Really?
Yes, my name is Asfeth. And as he says this, you look him over closer, and he's much older than what technically you've been gone from the village to be. He should roughly be close to your age. You do notably remember your parents trying to establish him as your to-betrothed husband-to-be, essentially.
Coffee's just gonna nod. I see. My companions and I were just traveling through, saw that this village seemed very empty, so we wanted to make sure everything was all right.
Yes. Most people stay inside as it gets darker to protect themselves from the doom.
The what?
The doom? Are you familiar?
No, I can't say I am.
Yes, well, it's essentially a plague of some sort that has corrupted the area. If you find yourself in the doom, things tend to play up outside of what the norm generally is.
Right. My apologies. Your name was?
Esveth.
Esveth.
Yes. And your name?
Coffee.
Coffee. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Do you all need to come inside?
No, not entirely. Again, we were just making sure everything was all right, and if you needed any assistance with anything.
Assistance? Well, one of the Circle Druid members, her name is Evelyn. She's been working to correct the doom. I sent her off to a temple not too far from here. If you were wanting to help, that is.
Sure, we'll do our best. Which temple did she go to?
It's called the Temple of Brigitte. Are you familiar?
Yes, actually.
Yes, well, you should be able to find her there.
Very well. What does this Evelyn look like?
She has long brown hair, elvish. She typically keeps it braided. Simple clothes, but druid nature, very strong spirit.
All right, well, we'll try to make our way and see if we can go help her then.
Very well. I shall be here if you need any assistance, but I do offer caution to try and stay away from the doom should it arrive.
And she nods. Very well. She kind of turns around and starts walking down. Before I go, just random question. What year is it?
And he begins to spout off a year in time that for you, Coffee would be roughly 30 or so years after what it should be. from what you're adding up to be would be?
Ah, of course. But thank you.
You are quite welcome.
And she kind of makes her way back to Joseph and Brienne.
Joseph sees you approach. All's well, I imagine.
Define well.
Do they need help? Or
So, yes, they do need help. According to the village elder, they sent off a druid to the Temple of Brigitte. She is trying to dispel this darkness called the Doom.
the Doom?
Yes, the Doom. Not a very good thing to be dealing with, it sounds, but yes, so we need to go look for her name was Evelyn.
Evelyn. Easy enough. We shall go find this Evelyn and see if she needs help.
Oh, and one more thing. It seems like we're 30 years in the future.
From the last time you've been here?
From the current time we were supposed to be in?
And he kind of looks over to Brienne. Would you also know if we're ahead of the time that we're supposed to be at, if you two are both from here?
What would I roll to know if she would know that?
Well, it depends on if Coffee would tell Brienne what the year is. Because essentially Brienne would know as well.
What year did he say it was?
Gives her a number?
So Coffee begins to tell you a number that's also roughly 30 years ahead of what you last remember, Brienne.
That is quite far ahead of what I remember.
Yes, well. This is all, kind of mind-blowing. Anyway, shall we leave? Yes, let's go into this Temple of Brigitte, and see if we can try to help out this Evelyn and try to get back to our own time.
Lead the way, Coffee.
Kind of turns on heel and starts walking.
And as you exit out of the village, this time it actually lets you. You find yourself back closer into the forest area. Make perception checks, you two.
Dirty 20.
12.
Okay. Coffee, perhaps because your senses are a little bit at peak, you hear the sound of heavy footsteps kind of off in the distance. And as they get closer, Brienne, you also begin to hear these pacing feet rushing in the general direction that you all are.
Coffee's immediately gonna try to ignite her hands in fire.
What kind of fire?
God, well, I'm trying to remember her druid spells. I think it was. I think she had. Did she have create fire?
Okay. As you go to tap into that druid focus, nothing pulses there.
Yeah, produce flame. So she's
Okay.
trying. She's trying, and she's just like, what? She's like,
Kamehameha!
She's very puzzled. She's like, I can't produce my fire? What?
Coffee. And as you're standing there, you all see this very large furbolg, a Aarakocra, and a half-orc just like sprinting and or flying in your direction.
Coffee's gonna be like, whoa! Stop!
Piotish is not stopped.
If Bjorto's not stopping, Yaka ain't stopping. He's like, I don't know who you people are, but I know who these people are.
So
Vengax just keeps going as well.
you watch as these three just like dart past you, and
Running from.
as you all look, you turn back to see what they were running from, and that's when you see it. You see the corruption kind of pooling through the forest, killing everything in its way.
That does not look good. Brad, Joseph, run!
Can I get athletics or acrobatics checks?
Oh, I'm not. Oh, am I good at any of these? Oh, I'm okay. Okay, we're good.
18.
Okay.
Oh, 14.
Okay, let me see if Joseph can save the day.
Ah!
Gotta save his woman. Yeah, so with a 27, Joseph just is like, coffee, and he just like scoops you up and starts running after Brienne, and the three of you start heading after Yaka, Piotish, and Vengax. You're all running for what feels like an eternity, but it's over the course of the next 10 minutes. And every time you want to slow down, you just look back and see that darkness, and you're just like, nope, not today, Satan. And you keep on. So as you're running, off in the distance, you start to see the makings of that temple of Brigitte coming into the horizon. Still a bit of forest and other brush kind of blocking it, but it does seem to be the next notable landmark that could serve as some type of safekeeping sanctuary. And
Coffee's gonna point it out and be like, let's go there!
when you arrive, there's kind of like a calm that approaches all of you, and you see this very large, immaculate temple, pristine. There's not much moss or anything adorning its stones or pillars, and there's a flight of stairs that lead up to the inside of the temple. And at first you're not certain, but you look back and the doom or the darkness that was quick on your heels kind of pulls up and prevents itself from going further into this temple-like grounds.
Coffee kind of just lets out a sigh of relief.
Yeah, Piotish does the same thing. Kind of stops on the stairs.
Joseph carefully sits Coffee down.
Yaka's like goes a few more steps up and then realizes everybody stops running. He's like,
All right. Hi. What the hell was that?
Your
No.
guess is as good as mine. Although I would like to make a guess that it was probably the Doom.
Right, of course, the Doom, because that's a thing, right? Right. Uh-huh.
Yaka just sits down like, what the fuck?
I have not seen this before.
Vengax looks around like, wow, that's Sounds like the world-ending event I was sent here to prevent.
World-ending event?
Yes, I am what you might call a guardian. I get sent around to all sorts of times, planes, and everything to protect them from cataclysmic events that could in the planet, world, the plane, whatever it may be.
Would Coffee know this definition of guardian?
Roll a history check.
A 16.
Not offhand. You've never come across anything of the world-saving type guardian. And as much as we wish they were guardians of the galaxy, they are not.
All right. Well, this is the temple. So I think we need to go find this Evelyn. She kind of looks to the three of you. And you three are?
I'm Piotish. You point to the bird. That's Vengax.
Yes, thank you.
And Yaka.
Coffee, make another history check as Piotish introduces himself.
15.
You don't remember Piotish because if you subtract the years, he probably would have been a small child. But this Furbolg man does give off a similar presence of perhaps his father or other kin that may have raised him. You would all know them as the village hermit type Furbolgs, or the crazy Furbolg people that typically live in the woods.
That's pretty accurate.
Coffee kind of nods and bows slightly. Well, it's nice to meet you all. I'm Coffee.
I am Joseph.
I'm Brienne.
And this is Katoon, and he points to the raven that's on his shoulder.
Oh, greetings, little one. But then she's gonna kind of look up the stairs towards the temple entrance. So, we were actually sent here by the village elder of hold on. Fienhill. And we're supposed to help this a druid by the name of Evelyn to kind of help her with this, with that, pointing to the doom down at the bottom of the temple.
That's convenient.
Yaka is going to start kind of walking down the stairs towards it.
Okay. Are you stopping?
What
just short
are you
of-
doing?
Just short.
Okay.
I'm not like walking into it.
So this doom, it had been at your heels this whole time, but something about this area that you're standing in kind of prevents it from progressing any further. It pools up and kind of like shunts up towards the sky, but it doesn't move any closer inward to the area of the temple.
Yaka pulls out one of his. I'd assume he'd still have all of his gear on him that he would have had while he was out hunting, or is all that changed as well?
It mostly.
Or if
changes
it's in
to
my
your-
character
Yeah, your character sheet is.
Okay, if it's in the character sheet, it's on the. That's what I got now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's gonna pull out one of his torches that he has, and he's just gonna like at the bottom of the stairs, because I imagine like that's where like the dirt and the rock meet, I guess. and he's just gonna kind of like stick it and kind of drag it across, and it's like, I just kind of, and then you kind of pull it back in and see what happens.
Okay, so you're just trying to like touch the torch with the
Touch
tip
the
of
touch. Yeah, trying to touch the doom with the tip of the torch, and just kind of drag it across to like scoop up some of the doom affected shit, and then kind of like bring it in to see what happens.
So you stick the sword or the torch through, and
Yeah, I was gonna say, no.
Back, as it comes back, the portion of the torch that touched the doom has withered and charcoaled away. It's still there, but it's definitely like way more dead than it was before it came in contact with.
Huh.
Vangax just kind of jumps and glides over to where he is to see what's going on. Well then, it's a good thing we got out of that.
Yaka
Really?
just kind of tosses the torch kind of out there into the doom, and then just watches as it hits the ground. I assume it all gets like whoosh.
Well, as soon as it goes into the doom, you lose it because it goes into that black pool of darkness.
Okay, so there's like darkness in
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, just habit of. I think one of them called it science, or I don't know. Said like try it and see what happens. I don't know.
Vangax tilted his head. You don't look much like a scientist there.
No, I was more used for like samples and like getting the samples and stuff, or I don't know. That's what they called it whenever I would just take pieces off a monster. They said I was collecting samples.
Coffee
Yeah.
kind of looks to Brad and Joseph like, what is he talking about?
I don't know. Kind of want to see what would happen if we just touched it, or if it would, or if once we step back in and be okay again, or just general stuff like that.
Well, at least you're smart enough not to throw your hand in there.
Yeah, I kind of need my hands, or I like my hands. All right.
He starts kind of walking back up the stairs.
All right. So we need to see who now. Who about a what's up?
A druid by the name of Evelyn.
Evelyn. All right.
He's just kind of keeps marching up.
Beatrice should follow.
Shall we? Follows after.
Vangax follows as well.
Brienne's gonna follow too.
Okay, so you all enter this temple. There are torches lit that kind of go down this long hallway, and you see a very large kind of offering area at the end of it. And sat on one of the stone pews is a young elvish woman. She's kind of setting some candles up and not really noticing the arrival of 6 people.
Would she still remember the druidic language? Coffee?
Roll a history check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. It's not that you don't remember it. It's just one of those tip of your tongue type things, as if it's a language you haven't spoken in years, even though it hasn't been years since the last time you spoke Druidic. But you are finding the knowledge and things of that nature is a bit harder to reach, rather than a fluid language, if you will.
So, not wanting to make an idiot of herself, Coffee kind of walks up. Excuse me, are you Evelyn?
The woman looks up to you. Yes, I am. And she kind of like pulls a piece of hair behind her ear, and you see that it is nicely braided, brunette, And she kind of like stands. I'm sorry. Do you need help?
Well, no. We're here to help you.
Help me?
Yes, the village elder of Vianhill sent us to help you kind of deal with this doom.
Oh. Actually, I'm not sure, but I did request aid.
I guess we're your aid.
Oh.
Yaka just points at Vengax.
Was it him?
I am not sure who would be sent. I basically asked for aid from Brigitte. And I'm not sure if she answered. But if you all are here, then that is good enough for me.
Well, I am Coffee. This is Joseph and Brienne. Piotish? Points to Vangav and
Vengax.
Vangax and Yaka. Did I get those names right?
Yeah. Well, mine at least, yeah.
And
Pretty easy name. We like to keep it simple.
she
the
starts
names.
to look over Joseph, Yaka, Coffee, and Brienne. Your auras, they're quite different.
Different. How so?
Well, it's almost like a conflict, a warring of spirits. Do you practice sorcery?
Sorcery?
Yes.
No, I'm a druid.
And she kind
Although
of
to be quite fair, I was not wearing this previously.
well, and she kind of looks over to Brienne. She has druidic energy.
No, she's a ranger.
And Brienne looks very confused.
Right, Brad? You were a ranger, correct?
Correct.
Not here. You dear, you're a sorcerer. She's giving off druidic energy. The man there, she points at Joseph, is a blood hunter. And she looks over at Yaka. He's a fighter.
Well,
Coffee.
I mean,
Coffee looks at Joseph. No, you were a fighter, right?
Yes, I was most definitely a fighter.
well,
There we
I
go.
I like fighting, but I'm a barbarian by trade. I don't know why the heavy armor and all that's happening. I can't. The rage is having issues right now, but probably just due to the tree
Now
travel
that I
thing.
think about it, I was not able to produce flame earlier. I'm sorry, you said something about a tree?
Yeah, sacred tree travel. It's like it's like the door. It's a tree, but it's also like a door that you travel through. Vangox, can you please help me? Magic words.
Yes, he's talking about a sacred tree. It pulls up energy from the globe / plains, and it does a lot of fancy things, but you can use it to travel from one place to the next, as long as you know the tree you're going to, the tree you're at, and you will yourself through it.
and I think I inadvertently got stuck on him because of my great luck.
Would Coffee know what Vangax is talking about?
Roll a nature check.
$19.
You're familiar with the sacred tree and that it can transport people over planes. You just aren't sure exactly how that applies to you and Joseph because you both weren't at a sacred tree when you vanished.
Odd. So you used the sacred tree to travel to this plane?
He did.
I did, yes. He just
Well-
appeared.
Well, clearly he did. He said something about a tree. You were near a tree?
Well, I mean, I inadvertently did, because I was showing. Long story short, training new adventurers how to hunt and survive. Saw the sacred tree, talked about the tree, said when the magic tree starts glowing, back up, and then of course, what happens? Magic tree glows. We start backing up. Dumb drow doesn't want to back up. I try to move. I get hit. He goes. They turn to ash. My husband might have been turned to ash. I'm not entirely sure, which is why I need to get back. And then I end up here.
Did you say the tree was glowing?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure he said something about the glowing tree. Yes.
It was glowing. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
I think I need to sit down. And she kind of like takes a seat back on the stone pew.
Are you all right?
Before you all arrived, I requested aid from Brigitte, but I requested something very specific. The doom outside, I'm sure you all have come across it. It's
Yes, we were running for our lives from it, actually.
It's a curse that has slowly polluted many parts of the different continents around here. And if it persists, it will not only kill the sacred tree, but everything else connected to it, which is life in general. There was someone from our village many years ago. There was legend spoke about her. Her name was Azalith, and she's destined to bring about an end to this darkness. And Joseph doesn't say anything, but he definitely looks at you, Coffee.
So we need to find as a who's
Why her specifically?
When the child was born, she was gifted with a way to almost innately remove curses and plagues and things of that nature. There was a firestorm that hit our village, and she summoned water from the sky to put it out, as nothing but a baby.
Okay, so find the child, then she does some magic for the doom, and then we're done, right?
Well, perhaps, but was anyone else there when you arrived at the tree?
No, it was me, Vengax, and then we bumped into our Furbolg right here, Pure. I'm so sorry,
Piotr.
Tish. I'm so sorry, Tish. I'm so bad with words.
I'm so sorry, Tish.
You, Tish, don't kill me. Don't magic me.
So, where would we find this Azalith now? And how would we get there if we're surrounded by the Doom?
Well, she's supposed to be a very capable druid. And
Capable. Yes. That's what I heard as well.
Evelyn kind of looks at you, Coffee. Are you still wearing the mask, or did you take it off?
Yes, no, I am wearing the mask. Anywhere on this continent, she's going to wear the mask.
She looks at you, and you
Did you
said
not know who I was
that-
till I put on the mask?
you said that you were a druid.
Was? I'm a sorcerer now.
You are? Okay, well, can you light that torch over there?
You know, I would love to, but I specifically said earlier I was trying to produce flame and I just could not light it. So I clearly cannot light this torch now.
Well,
Yaka pulls out a
Produce-
tinderbox.
produce produce flame is a druidic spell by nature.
But I am not a druid anymore. I am a sorcerer, so I can't help you there.
Anymore? Were you at one point?
One point, yes, but that doesn't really matter right now, does it?
Can Yaka do an insight check?
Mm-hmm. Actually, anyone that thinks this conversation is a bit odd can do an insight check.
I don't think anybody's gonna need to, but let me double check.
I rolled a dirty 20 on deception.
Well, that's a 24 for me.
Damn
So,
19.
Huh?
Wait, are you? What's under the? I normally don't like asking this. Could you take your mask off?
No.
You're the.
Is
you're the
it
child.
cursed?
You're the kid, aren't you?
No.
You willing to bet his life on it?
and he points to Joseph.
She immediately is ready to fight you. You lay one hand on him and I'll kill you where you stand.
Coffee.
So you are the child.
Why are you even asking this question? I specifically said I was not.
No, you said you were a druid, but now you're a sorcerer, and now you're not even going to light the thing on fire. You're going
Because
out
I
with a
can't light it
tinderbox.
on fire because I am not a druid. Therefore, what's the problem?
No, sorcerers. No, there's more than one fire magic. I've seen it, felt it.
Would you know that for sure though?
Well, he's not wrong. And Vangax just produces sacred
Yes.
flame and shoots it at the candle and lights it.
Yeah!
My man, hold it down. Nobody clutch with it.
Thank you. Look, are you?
What was the purpose of me trying to light that candle anyway? Looking back to Evelyn, I'm ignoring Yaka now.
Yaka's very pointed question of like pulls out hand axe, holds it in front of him, just like arms crossed.
The point is, if you all are here to help, then it would probably best be in your interest to at least know your own capabilities as they are now.
That seems fair. Yes. Though to be quite fair, I'm still very very new with my sorcerer abilities.
Yes, as I can imagine all of you are.
So until I know actually how to produce a flame with these new capabilities, I can't light it on fire. But thanks to Vangax over here, it's lit now.
And she kind of like stands back up and walks over to you, Coffee, and carefully like sets her hand on top of yours. Do you feel that?
There's sudden awkwardness, yes.
No, the pulse. Do you feel the energy? The spark?
Slightly.
Roll a Arcana check.
14.
There's like a soft almost soft kiss of a touch that permeates and tingles in your mind. And it's almost as if you're learning a new language, but something new opens up to you, Coffee, as you're standing there. And you realize that while the magics are different, they are innately connected. And you can feel this new surge of power, almost as if it was always present but not acknowledged, residing within you.
Coffee's going to take a couple steps back. And she's going to try and cast Firebolt.
Okay. Where are you aiming?
At the candle.
Okay. You aim at another unlit candle and roll to hit.
That's a 25.
Yep. It and a bunch of other candles also light as this fire bolt erupts from your hand, manifesting and darting off towards your intended target.
You've produced flame.
Kind of looks at her hands. Yeah. Sort of. So
You said you couldn't do that.
But I thought I couldn't. I guess it seems I can. Kind of like crosses her arms. Like,
Yaka's gonna look at Joseph.
You traveled with her a long time?
It's complicated, but yes. Long
Does
enough.
she always lie and get uncomfortable when she's called out for it?
I've found that there's certain questions you just don't give the answer to.
That sounds an awful lot like lying.
Perhaps, yes, in certain circles. It would seem.
what are you two talking about over there?
Oh, nothing.
She's the kid, isn't she? If you try to tell me something that you're not going to tell me, that automatically tells me that she is in fact the kid.
It's not that. It's, again, complicated. We're still learning about each other.
What is insight check?
I'll just throw all the d20s.
I'm just rolling all the
No, you're
All right,
inciting Joseph, right?
I'm inciting Joseph to see if he's like, oh, and to his like, I don't know. So it's like, all right, so I'm gonna burn a superiority die as well because that wasn't a very high roll. I want to make sure I win this. Okay, that'll work. So with the insights, that's going to be a 25.
Okay. From what you're getting from Joseph is there seems to be a lot about coffee that even he doesn't know presently.
But does he know her real name? And does her name match up with the name of the child that was given?
He does not know her real name.
I don't think.
She's never told him yet.
I think that matches up.
Mhm.
In all seriousness, she's never
Good
told him her
redcon.
actual
Good
name.
redcon.
I think the people of the dumpster fire know, but that's because the Blood Wolf Queen told her.
But Joseph was not in the room at that time. He was out cold.
Convenient.
Check the tapes. Check the tapes.
Where are these tapes
All right.
that you speak?
All right. All right. Yaka's just once again being very much like now. Before he was like, all right, well, I'm going to trust these people. Is now on the mode of like, okay, well, there's two of these four people, these three that I'm not, or two of the five I'm not trusting now. Yaka not math. Yaka hit. Math rocks help. All right. Well, I mean, if she's not, then I guess we're fine.
I mean,
guess.
I don't think she is. The woman over there said that she could cure curses. But I think I'm testament enough to know that's not the case.
Yaka kind of cocks an eyebrow, then slides a little bit away. What do you mean there?
Nothing to worry about, my friend. I just have a family curse.
Yaka's eyes just go like his whole demeanor goes from like huh to like oh motherfucker. It pass on through the bloodline or
Yes, it does.
turn it into an animal or something? Yaka knows one curse. He knows one curse, and that's it.
That
He knows one bloodline curse, and it's unfortunate.
that is
Oh no!
a bit
This
hard
isn't even
to point out, but sometimes.
Yeah, we were family like that. They were not good people. Let's just say that.
Ah, well, if they weren't good and cursed, then you're doing yourself
I mean,
a
they're-
favor.
Well, I mean, they're good and dead now. So,
Oh, they're dead.
there's a wolf clan thing.
Wolf.
Yeah, it was. Oh God, Edvin was so much better at remembering the story.
Can Coffee hear their conversation?
Make a perception
Um,
check.
Essentially, like his grandfather had it,
16.
and Yaka's not really hiding it. And then his grandfather had it and passed it on to him, and the king kind of went a little crazy. And so we had to kill him, but it was like
Coffee slowly makes her way next to Joseph, kind of listening in on this.
It's like I don't know. It wasn't like in werewolf stuff. It wasn't that, but it was kind of like that. You know what I mean?
You don't know the name of the curse, do you?
It was like wolf something, or something wolf. I think it was.
something.
Yeah, not werewolf. I know it wasn't that one. That one, I were people are great. They're fantastic for the most part. But look, you meet a werebear, they're fucking great. All right.
I had a lifting contest. He won, but that wasn't fair. He turned into a big bear and lifted a house. How like I can't compete with that.
Make a perception check, Yaka.
That's a 2 for a total of I think 7. 7. That's a 7 altogether.
Luckily, it's not very hard to perceive it. You notice your finger that you cut is still slightly bleeding.
Oh shit. I'm gonna heal up. Sorry. Let me.
Like he's kind of like as he's doing this, and he kind of like put his hand on the wall. He's like,
Oh shit. Sorry.
Careful.
he's kind of like reaching.
You're gonna clean that, right?
Yeah, he literally takes he like rummages through his bag. He's like,
None of this is mine.
he pulls out a shirt that's like way too ornate.
Did Advent? Oh, I swear.
Takes his like rips the sleeve off of it, and like uses it to like wipe the blood off the wall, and then uses the sleeve to like wrap his hand, and just like, all right, there we go. All right, and he just kind of balls it up and puts it back in the bag.
There we go. Sorry about that. I was trying to rage earlier and it didn't work.
You were trying to rage, so you hurt yourself?
Yeah.
That doesn't make
It's
any
a-
sense.
Nah, it's a barbarian trick. You see, yeah. What you do is you can tap into it, but sometimes if you're a little groggy, if you've been knocked out a few times, an easy way to it is to get
Did
inflicted with some
Orgy
pain.
ever hurt himself when trying to go into a rage?
Did who?
No, he typically hurt other people.
That's what I thought.
I look. Whatever orgies you do are all
No,
good.
it was a
I'm-
tabaxi barbarian named
I'm
Orgy.
here, or
Yaka's just backing up. He's like,
I'm sorry if I was sending mixed signals. I'm very happily married. Advent might try to get involved, but I'm very, me and him are very happy. I don't need another. I'm
Joseph,
very
what on
appreciative.
God's name is he talking about?
I think he's referring to the act of an orgy as opposed to the name.
Oh,
of
you
an
know, I
orgy.
don't think Orgy's parents thought that through when they named their son that then.
I don't think they thought a lot of things through when the orgy came into existence.
That's fair.
all right, I imagine we're just gonna turn back to the proper story now.
Evelyn's
damn it,
just,
Paul.
like horrified. Like, is this the help that Brigitte sent me? Is this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's she doing in this entire conversation?
So she looks at all of you. Well, many of you will have to find out your capabilities, but if you can find the child, that would be best.
Would you know where we should start looking?
I would say head to the sacred tree again.
Why?
Yaka's like just staring at her like
So, not to point out something obvious, but how do we get there if the doom's outside?
That's a very good question, actually.
You will probably need a chalice.
A chalice.
Sounds
Yep.
fancy.
Yes.
A cup?
No, it's a warding gem of sorts. Keeps the doom at bay.
And where do we get one of those? Would you happen to have one?
Or 6?
One should suffice, but yes, there's one here at the temple. Who is going to hold it?
Yaka looks at
Yotish.
Piotish. Dude, I'm so every time I look at your name and it doesn't help me. It doesn't, most of the time I look at other people's names whenever I want to say the name and I'm like, got it. Yours, I'm just like, I fuck it up. It's gonna be wrong. That's why I was like, Tiff, Piotish.
Uh, not me.
He kind of looks at Piotish.
I could just about as well as anyone else.
Right. Well, I'll go get that now. Coffee.
Yes, Miss Evelyn.
Do you think you could speak to Brienne a bit about druids?
Sure, I don't see why not.
Help her tap into her power. I shouldn't be long. I'll go right now. And she kind of like scurries off, heads down like a set of stairs.
Kitty!
It's Brienne.
I know, I was just saying it for time's sake.
Kitty.
She kind of walks on over. Okay, so tapping into your druidic powers, you're gonna want to try to tap into the energy around you, like from nature itself.
Brienne's looking around trying to see where she can find nature inside of a temple.
Well, the temple's made of stone. You could just take the energy from the stone. There's, Oh, you said there wasn't any vegetation growing on the temple. Yeah, just take a deep breath and try to focus. Also, speaking of, do you have a druidic focus? Do you have one on you? She's kind of like lifting her arm, like looking for this druidic focus.
I forgot what I gave her for a druidic focus.
Oh, the totem?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You find a totem of whatever descript that Laura gives.
She wearing it like a necklace?
Yeah.
Picks it up. This. You want to try to focus on this to get your powers.
Oh, right. And Brienne's gonna give it a try.
And Brienne Ranger before was just like Hunter Ranger, didn't have any spells? Or
She did have some spells.
okay. So roll a, depending on what kind of spell you're casting, either a medicine or nature check. Or survival.
Okay. Let's go for medicine. And 18.
Okay. Similarly to kind of how the Rangers pulled their magic, druidic magic is in the same ballpark area. It's a lot easier to tap into your inner druid than in Coffee's case, where she's going on the complete opposite side. But yeah, through that, you're able to cast some type of healing magic through focusing on this totem.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put that healing energy towards helping Yaka with his cut.
There you go. See, it's simple enough, right?
Right.
So you're a natural, like pat Brienne on the back.
And Yaka, your cut kind of like heals over. And Evelyn makes it back. She has a small chalice kind of in her grasp, and she walks over to you, Piotish, and hands it off to you. It's a kind of bluish crystal that gives off a dim glow. But it's in this kind of chalice type cup carrier.
He'll lean down and grab it. So, do I have to hold it against my chest?
No, it roughly will give you maybe 50 or so feet outward of clear, no doom intrusion.
If I put it in my bag, will it still work?
Yes, it doesn't need to be focused through or anything. It just needs to be in your area, your general vicinity.
Okay. For the DM's knowledge, that was a bag of holding.
Okay.
So he puts it in.
Gone forever.
Right. Well, if you all can bring back the child, or
Do we know what this child looks like?
legend
A
has
baby,
it
I would assume.
she is a wood elf. They said she was one of the prettiest females that they had in their village at the time, and she'll probably be, and she like spouts off an age that's roughly 30 or so years older than what you would technically be, Coffee, because of the time jump parameter. But yeah, and red hair, I think, similar to yours actually.
Yaka is just staring at her.
But note it, there's like 3 redheads in the room right now. Like
3 redheads. What are you talking about? 3 redheads?
Yaka's a redhead.
No, red bearded. Red bearded. There's no hair on his head. He's bald as shit.
My God.
Well, it's not that. I'm a...
I can't.
Not a wood elf though.
Neither am I.
Yaka just
Neither
looking.
am I.
That time, everyone's just kind of looking.
I believe we're just gonna go ahead and just say that you rolled a 1 on that one because.
Or if she rolled real high, at least she convinces herself. So as you're all standing there, I don't believe there's much time. If we don't find this child that's destined to bring about a sense of peace, I fear the doom may overrun everything.
Just I probably already thought about this. Can't you just make more of those?
And he kind of pointing to the bag of holding that is now holding the chalice.
Can't you just make like a bunch of those and just kind of like put those around?
Essentially that's what we do to void off the doom. However, that's not getting rid of the doom, and it is still affecting the planet as a whole. If it affects the sacred tree, the cause, the fallout could be detrimental.
Well, why don't you just make a really, really big one?
Well, they are.
You can skip this and just call Yaka dumb.
mine
Like he's just.
from the particular areas that we get them from.
Right. Okay.
And generally, when they are mined, they are taken to larger cities, not villages such as ours.
Okay. But it could work.
Essentially, that's what's been happening. We are trying to not put a band-aid over it, if bandage over it.
I mean, it work. I mean,
He just holds up his hand.
works so far. Yeah. Never mind. Don't you? Never mind.
Like it's like not bleeding anymore, but it is still gross looking. Like
Never mind. Never mind, man.
Bad analogy.
that analogy.
So back to the tree.
We could just ask the spirits where this child is. We'd get an answer.
We could ask the spirits, you said.
Yes.
Like which ones?
Whichever ones are feeling like talking at the moment. Sometimes they get mad and they don't talk to you for a week. They blame you for something they think you did, but you haven't really done it. But they get over it because there's really nobody else to talk to.
Why don't you try that then, Yotish?
Coffee's
can-
extremely nervous right now.
So he would actually start performing a divination ritual.
Okay.
Basic question is, where is this child that can remove the curse?
Oh, James like,
May or may not be in the room present.
Spirits are very.
That's not the
indecisive.
DM answer I was hoping for.
Is there a role associated with this thing? No.
No, it's the GM offers a truthful reply. The reply may
I mean, not entirely wrong. It's like
the
it's
reply
sort
might
of
be a short
truthful.
phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
So does the voices tell you, Piotish?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you hear a bunch of dissonant whispers start to speak to you, and you get the sense that there's a lot about coffee that fits the description. However, she is missing one key element to end the curse. And it would be the fact that she's no longer a druid.
They weren't very descriptive. But one of us here could do it. Or two of us combined.
Two of us?
I don't know. People said they were all changed. Except for Vengax. Why isn't Vengax changed?
I assume-
wanted to be here, right?
I assume, yeah, just because I travel to different planes and everything, that I don't become changed from it, right?
Roll a history check.
13.
Okay. So Vengax, you know to have come from a place called Purgatory, where essentially there are a bunch of different beings or people that live within the city underneath Purgatory that don't have home worlds anymore, because similar events such as this one, they became time displaced, kind of like if Yaka was as he is now in a time that's not his own, and something were to happen to his timeline, he would become a displaced being, unable to return to his actual home world. Similarly, you being part of Purgatory have also suffered the effects of no longer having a home world, because it doesn't technically exist anymore. You decided to become a guardian to kind of help correct this so that other people don't feel this type of loss and displacement from not really belonging anywhere anymore. So from your efforts, it's not always 100%, but as long as you're able to correct whatever the misflow is before it gets too out of hand, typically it can help re-steer the the trajectory of that timeline so that it doesn't go off course as you have noticed.
Okay.
This particular mission, the Red Sage, Kitsune, old sage guy, kind of sent you here in an effort to correct this. He believes that you're capable enough to do this, but he did forewarn that there wouldn't be much time to actually accomplish it.
Okay. So, well, to answer your question, I live in a place called Purgatory, which is a plane sort of outside of time itself, and there are a mass amount of beings there who their worlds or planes have suffered a plane or world-ending cataclysmic effect, rendering them homeless. So they don't have a home anymore. So they live in purgatory, being in such close quarters to these beings constantly, and also in purgatory myself. I'm considered to have a home either, which is why I can travel back and forth through times and planes and not be affected. It's also why I decided to do this, because it's not a pretty sight to see everybody so disheartened and homeless, in a sense, on a daily basis. In Purgatory, we have a Red Sage Kitsune, who he instructed me to come here to help. I don't know necessarily how exactly he knows what he knows, but he did inform me that we did not have a lot of, or at least I, which is, I guess now we, do not have a lot of time to fix this issue, world-ending event, if you will.
Well, if you go to this tree and find the child, will it be in time?
I don't know. I can't always save everybody or every plane or world. But I do my best.
And Piotish is just gonna look at Coffee.
Oh god. Are you
Okay. Am I?
No,
Oh.
Nope.
And you'll just
Poppy
look at
is rubbing her temples, and she kind of like just turns on heel and leaves the temple for a bit to kind of get some fresh air.
fresh.
apparently
air.
she wants to go now.
Oh, no.
So Piotish follows her out.
Brienne's gonna follow too.
Damn it.
So Coffee, you go out to get fresh air, and shortly enough, Piotish and Brienne kind of come out as well.
She kind of looks to the two of you. What are you doing out here?
Seems like you wanted to leave now.
Oh. No. Not really. No. I kind of just wanted to get some fresh air. It was kind of musty and wanted to
It's
just
like incense and myrrh.
yeah, get some fresh air.
There'll be fresh air on the way.
You're not wrong.
So we can leave now.
Sure.
Vengax inside the temple he looks at Yaka and Joseph, like, well, Piotish has the magical chalice of safety, so we should probably follow him with them.
Yaka's got like his bag open, and he's once again just going through, like wondering like where the fuck all of his shit is. He's just like, it's like, I don't even know yet. What? Oh shit! Yeah, just balls it, just throws it over his shoulder again.
Yeah. Let's go.
Joseph kind of like looks over to Evelyn, nods a bit, and then follows you all out as well.
As he starts, as Yak starts walking, he kind of turns around.
Wait, is this? You have another one for like this place, right?
Yes,
That
I have a
wasn't
much
like
larger
yours.
one.
Okay, I was just making that wasn't your chap. Oh, yeah, all right.
And just
She kind of smiles and nods.
All right.
As you all make it outside, make perception checks.
10.
16.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
22.
So the people that were outside.
My eyes are adjusting to the daylight.
Coffee, Brienne, Piotish, you don't see anything, but you feel the ground kind of like tremble slightly, as if very heavy steps are off in the distance. It kind of shakes the temple a little bit. Those of you exiting kind of see a little bit of like dust start to dissettle from the walls. As you fully exit out, you see the three kind of what perplexed looks on their face.
Did any of you feel that?
I did.
Yes.
I didn't.
Coffee's gonna
Nope.
take a look and see where it's coming from.
It appears to resonate from the doom, but you can't see through it.
Calls back, Evelyn, are you sure we need to go back to the tree?
Yes, unless you know where the child is.
Yak is just gonna stare at her.
Fucker. Coffee sighs heavily, takes off her mask. God damn it. Fine.
Yaka's still staring at her like, is that supposed to do something? Like he doesn't know what she looks like anyway.
She turns to you. Yes, I am her. You were right. I am Azalith.
Take that, Advin. Totally gonna.
Well, technically, you're not.
What do you mean I'm not?
What?
Yes, please explain.
Like she said, you three are changed.
Okay,
Is-
and I'm pretty sure I'm Azalith, though.
No.
What?
Well, Evelyn said that Azalith was also a druid. But if you're
And
only
I
a druid,
was a druid. I am a
But you are
sorcerer
now.
now.
So you're not Azalith.
Ah,
She's
cool.
not
Puts the
the-
mask back on. I guess I'm coffee now.
she's not the
How-
same Azalith, at least.
So, how do I?
Yaka just sits down. Like,
Oh God.
Good question.
Coffee immediately like walks past all of you, goes back into the temple. Evelyn!
Yaka, make a perception check.
oh god.
Oh no!
23.
You don't see, but you hear a voice. A very familiar voice.
God damn it.
A voice of a certain drunken bard
Oh God damn it.
coming from the doom, requesting help.
Advin, how did you?
He starts walking towards it.
Yaka.
Where?
And
Oh God damn it! Where the hell? How did you get your? How did you get stuck in this shithole? I swear to God, if I gotta pull him out of one more goddamn fire.
He's like
You
walking
see
British is
the
going
half-orc
down.
just like Heading
just
towards the
beelining
Doom.
it towards the, like walking down the stairs towards the Doom, like kind of trying to figure out where the
Coffee
voice is
headed
coming
this
from.
way, Yaka headed that way. What way the
Piotish is
others
headed
like
after
to do?
Yaka.
Advin! Advin!
Yaka.
Where the hell are you?
Piotish, make a perception check.
$21.
You feel that heavy pulse in the ground again as you're walking up behind Yaka. And it feels like it's getting closer.
Is it coming from the same direction? I'm assuming I heard Advin's voice too, or was that just Yaka?
Just Yaka.
Just Yaka. Okay. So Piotr should look down at Yaka because there's something very large coming for you.
No, Advin's like 5 foot nothing. He's tiny.
Nangax is gonna jump and like again glide towards both of them to figure out what's going on.
And what are you doing, Brienne?
Wait, do you not hear him?
Mm,
Brienne
No.
is also gonna go towards Yaka because she does not think it's a good idea for anybody to go into the Doom.
What is this guy doing?
Well, I guess that means Joseph goes after Coffee. So as you all are standing there, you're far enough in to where the 50-foot radius is beaming off of Piotish, so you'll have areas that you can stand in without worrying about the Doom coming across. But it's just darkness everywhere.
Wait, are you not hearing him?
No, but there's something
Frank
out there.
You don't hear Bard. There's no.
Hard.
No one is talking but us.
Have you had any mushrooms?
No. Nope. Not yet today. Or at least none in my bag. I don't think I ate them. But they weren't those kind. They were like the normal, I think. No, I haven't had any mushrooms today. Shit.
He's
Can
unstrapping his shield.
can Yaka do like a wisdom saving throw or something to kind of, or like any sort of recollection to like any of the stuff from his previous encounters with getting his mind fucked with to kind of like
Do a, yeah, sure, wisdom saving throw.
okay. And my greatest stat, but it's the only thing I can think of would be like a, oh wait, I'm being duped. Damn it. All right. Wisdom save. So that's gonna be a 14.
Okay. As you try and like look around to double check like what exactly is going on, that sense of doubt starting to settle in. You look over at a point in the Doom and it kind of like starts to part for you, revealing more of what's outside of this barrier that Piotish is kind of protecting you all from.
Before
And-
Yaka's, oh sorry.
and you see a very injured Advin off into the distance, roughly 200 feet away from where you are present.
Yaka takes like 2-3 steps and then stops.
Do you see that?
And from all of your perspectives, you just see further darkness.
See his darkness.
Nothing but darkness for me. What
are
do you
seeing?
see?
I see it's clear for like another 200 feet or so, and then I see my Advin, there, my husband.
Let's go.
Vangax chooses and he casts Detect Evil and Good.
Okay.
You detect evil all around you. It's all, you are blinded by the evil in front of you. Yaka is not going to run out. Instead, is going to maintain his like where he's standing.
Okay.
And then he's going to take one of the other torches that are in his bag, and he throws it down the clearing.
As you do that, you watch as the torch kind of like spins and then lands, hits, and eventually stops maybe 25 feet away from the image of Advin that you see.
It still looks fine, like it's not burned, charred, nothing.
Yeah, no, it just looks normal.
It's fine. I mean, so you don't see the torch.
No. But if you lead us there, we'll go.
Yaka starts walking forward.
Pirish is going to keep up with them,
Okay.
making sure Brienne and Vengax are staying within the zone.
So from the Detect Evil and Good Vengax, it's a little hard to say. You're kind of getting small notes of everything, just kind of reverberating all from around the doom that's surrounded you. However, there does seem to be a higher Fey presence than any of the others.
Okay. So as I'm walking along, I guess with Piotish and Yak and Brienne, hey guys, well, casted Detect Evil and Good, and there's a lot of everything everywhere, it seems, but I'm sensing a lot more Fey presence than anything else.
Oh, yeah. There are lots of Fae around. At least there were. I don't know if they still are.
And Yaka, you kind of like lead them to where Advin is. How close are you trying to get?
To Advin.
Okay. You walk right up to him.
Do
Does-
we see?
Does anybody else see him?
Mm-mm.
Yaka kind of takes a knee, like,
Hey,
and kind of like puts hand on his chest, like kind of shaking him, like,
hey, you with me?
As you do that, the visage of Advin kind of vanishes into a flurry of shadows. And all of you see Yaka kind of like knelt there, but something a bit more alarming is the doom is starting to seep into that 50-foot beam off of Piotish.
Run!
Yeah, Tish,
Yaka's
you
gonna
still have
Yaka's gonna
the
strike
chalice?
the ground.
Strike the ground?
Yeah, like where Advin was, like his hand is now probably would have been like a good foot or so off. He just makes a fist and then just kind of punches the ground real hard out of anger.
We need to go back. He's going to reach down on Yaka's shoulder.
Yaka just stands. He's not even fighting at this point. He's in his own head right now. He's just following. He's matching pace with whatever the group is going.
Back.
Make a perception check.
Everybody?
Yeah.
That's about right. 9.
12.
14.
So for the life of you, y'all don't know which way the temple is.
Oh no!
And the doom is still, regardless of which position Piotish is moving, the doom is still slowly seeping into y'all's area and starting to fill it with more doom.
1 second. Hold on. Excellent memory of maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of a terrain, settlement, or other features that are around you. Would that mean that I roll this with advantage with trying to figure out the direction we're trying to go?
Sure, I'll give it to you. 'Cause you
Know your character
gotta
sheets!
need it.
Okay. Just to make doubly sure, let me see what I can. So 12, so that's gonna be a 17, but where was the thing I just had? Tactical assessment, investigation, history, or no, that was insight check. Shit. Yes, that's gonna be a 17.
Okay. So as you stand back up next to Piotish, the others are kind of finding it hard to figure out which way is the temple. You kind of like check the ground a bit and notice not footprints or anything as evident as that.
Can I just use the torch, like how the torch landed, to be like, well,
kind of, yeah.
when we were walking up, the handle was facing like this. So if we just 180 in that way, that should put us roughly where we need to go.
Ooh, luck to Yaka and inspo.
Inspo. Okay.
Piotish.
Keep that little luck point in the back pocket. Put that right there.
But yeah, you using Yaka's sight to kind of judge where y'all should try and head. You start moving in that direction as the doom's kind of like filling into your area.
Is that 50 feet just slowly, like all the way
Kinda,
around?
it's
Is it
like-
coming in from one direction?
It's seeping in the same point, kind of like that point where Avin was at the base, but it is seeping through and like filtering outward. So,
Okay.
you're finding it progressively getting more and more doom in your bubble space.
My bad.
Everyone make charisma saving throws. Queen's like, this is what I gotta deal with every fucking Sunday night.
We go ahead and burn that luck.
That would be a 12.
Oh gosh. Let me burn that luck.
17.
Oh no.
Yeah, I burned that luck. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. What was Vengax and
11.
and Piotish?
17.
Okay. Yaka, you watch as the part of the doom that's inside tries to recreate a semblance of Advent again, but in your frustration, you kind of like dissipate it enough to where it doesn't corporealize. Similarly, Piotish, you're too focused on retracing after Advent, serving as like that center ground for the doom to kind of be in, that you're not really focusing on the doom itself, and being that this is your native land, you're familiar enough to know that like doom is doom. Like you just don't pay any attention to it. But the other you, Brienne and Vengax, being new favors of the doom, are finding that it is starting to play tricks on you a little bit. Vengax, you're getting glimpses of purgatory and your kind of like safe haven. And Brienne, you're getting glimpses of nicer pastimes when all of you used to be on adventures and hang out at pubs. It's basically just playing mind games to try
Coffee
and see.
smearing mud into
Oh,
your
no.
fur.
No, it has to be good thoughts, not anything she would run away from.
Mud good for skin, kitty.
Oh no. But yes, eventually you all make it back to that temple, and as you enter into that space again, the doom kind of settles and stops where it was, and the games kind of stop playing, and you all find yourself at the foot of the temple stairs.
Piotr's is actually going to reach in his bag and pull out the chalice and look at it.
It looks to be relatively the same. That
He'll shake it, put it to his ear.
Insight check on the DM.
do a Arcana check on it.
I try. Oh, okay, never mind. Natural 20 for 22.
It seems to still have its Arcana magic intact for it. There just seemed to be a breach that most likely was from Yaka that was being exploited to allow the doom in. Basically, it's like a vampire invite. It won't come in willingly. You have to kind of allow it to come in.
God damn it, Yaka.
So is it there permanently now, or
No, after you made your way back to the larger chalice area, it stopped. It stopped again at the base of it.
You feel less like a tool.
You shall not pass.
Oh no, I still feel like an asshole, but
Um,
I have to go with the age old. It's what my character would have done.
What are you saying to Evelyn?
So, Coffee goes into the room. Evelyn,
Yes, Miss Coffee.
what if I told you I know where the child is?
That would be great. We could bring her here and start.
What if she's already here?
Have y'all found her already?
Nice to meet ya. I'm Azalith.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that complicates things a bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Why were you hiding?
That's a story for another time. But what happens now?
Well, by legend's sake, you have the capability to end all of this. However, you are giving off quite a bit of conflicting energy. How did
Yep.
you arrive?
Well, I was traveling with Joseph.
Joseph nods.
We were eating, and suddenly we felt that something was off, and next thing we know, we ended up Near the damn tree.
Well,
So,
it would seem that the magics that drew you here kind of shuffled things up a bit.
a bit is an understatement, but yes. Yeah, yep.
Were you informed of anything about the legend or your destiny?
The only thing I was told was that I was supposed to spend the rest of my life protecting this tree. That's basically it. I don't know anything else from this legend that you're speaking of.
Right. Well, having you here is a start. We just have to piece together the rest of it.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How did this doom start? Where did it come from? Because when I left my home all those years ago, it was a lot less gloomy.
There was another curse here in these lands. Are you familiar with the Bloodwolf curse?
And if I was?
There was a woman that used to reside at Fienhill by the name of Beatrix.
You don't say.
She was cursed, and it would seem the thing that brought about the curse didn't truly leave.
What do you mean?
There's something in the doom. I haven't been able to put my finger on it, but there's a presence in it. It's almost as if someone's watching.
Right. So someone's either living or controlling this doom? Is that what you're trying to say?
Perhaps. Though the way it responds, it's almost as if it's innately learning, adapting.
Well, if I'm supposed to be the one to break curses, I have no idea where to start for this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, being here is a start.
I suppose.
But you should gather your friends. They don't need to be in the doom if they don't have to be.
Coffee kind of looks over to Joseph. You think you could gather the others?
Sure. Shouldn't be too hard. Are you okay, Coffee? Or should I call you Azalith?
You can call me whatever you want to call me, Joseph.
That's never how you're supposed to answer that question. Right. Well, I'll go get the others. And he kind of like turns on heel and heads off. Shortly after you all arrive back, Joseph kind of proceeds down the stairs. Do you all want to know the good news?
Yes, I would prefer some good news.
Is there bad news? Because I'd like that first.
I guess technically there is. Bad news is we may not be able to break the curse currently. However, we have found Azalith.
Yes, we found her when we were first here, and she ran off.
Let me rephrase. Coffee's willing to cooperate.
She wasn't before?
Not necessarily.
You would know her better than the rest of us, probably. Maybe Brienne. She seems a little familiar.
There's much I don't know about Coffee or Azalith or whatever her name is. She was in a much different form and acting much differently when I originally traveled with her.
Perhaps we just need to figure out how to turn her back.
Well, I was informed to come gather all of you and we can reconvene back inside.
Okay. Yaka broke the chalice, but it's better now.
You broke the chalice?
Kinda. I thought thought I saw somebody out in the darkness, and I went to go get them, and it was just the doom playing with my mind.
Right.
Yeah, no real reason to dwell on it. Let's just Mulligan. What's the term? Forgive and forget. Yeah, let's do that.
Like I said, it's better now.
Yeah, because very much like, God damn it, stupid doom and stupid.
So Joseph goes back inside, leading you all back into the temple. And Evelyn kind of sees you all arrive and nods. Right, well, things are getting a little bit more complicated, but we should be able to correct all of this.
And how do you pose we do that?
I believe the answer still lies with you, my dear.
Yes, but I as you know, I was a druid. I am a sorcerer now, apparently. So there's still some things I need to learn. And I'm not entirely sure if I can help in this state.
True, but your friend, Brienne, she's a druid now.
That is true. Well, Brienne, you ready to help me save the world?
It wasn't exactly on my agenda, but it seems I have no choice.
Wonderful. Glad you're on board.
And as the group of you kind of reconvene on how much more complicated things can get, that's where we're going to end this first part.
Hey!
Oh God.
Oh yes, it's only gonna get worse. But yes, pick back up with this next Saturday for part 2, and then we're gonna have a break after that, and then finish out the rest of the month with part 3 and part 4. But yes, hopefully this motley crew will be able to get their shit together, get it in the bag, and
Oof.
figure out what to do next. Cause right now it's anybody's game. But yeah, so let me see if there's anyone that we can raid offhand.
I'll say if you ain't got anybody, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Let's see, raid. Who am I typing?
Rumble Pack 92. Playing Halo Infinite, the
Okay,
open beta.
So yeah, we'll raid Rumble Pack 92. Stop in, say hi. If he asks what you were playing and you say D&D, just roll with it because good times.
just throw your wrenches up.
Oh, no.
That'll be an emote eventually. Whenever we hit the 50 followers.
The raid wrenches.
Yeah, the raid wrenches. Look, all I'm saying is raid wrenches works. It's just a wrench with raid written across it. Just hit him with a wrench.
We got a couple of followers today, so yeah, we'll get there.
Which thank you guys so much for following.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you all next time. I'm trying to think.
What's our next show?
What's our next show?
Well, I know Noe is this week.
Okay, but is that the first show that's showing?
I know Thursday we got a show. I don't know if we have another show before that.
I don't think
Let's
so.
check the calendar, which you guys can find right in our
Yes.
Discord.
If you join our Discord, you can check our lovely calendar that is updated monthly that we do not memorize because that would be tech data.
Yeah, Noia should be the next.
Yeah,
one.
Legends of
Next
Noe
streamed
is-
one at least.
So
Nice.
yeah, Thursday.
So yeah, come hang out with us this Thursday for Legends of Noia, where
Your friendly neighborhood Paul will be DMing and leading his own ragtag bunch of jabrones through the land of Noia.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll raid Rumble Pack and see you all on the flip side.
Bye.
I love it every time. Every time y'all are waving, I have already.
You need to like not do that.
What do you mean? I always do it. It's
Yeah, but
not
you're like,
even
we'll see you
it's
next time.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, you say catch you on the flip side. We're like, okay,
as soon
bye.
as you say, as soon as I say see, y'all should be like waving to the sun comes up. But yeah, I'm pushing the button. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna wait for like 9 seconds, not even, and then we're gonna rate, and we're gonna throw in our emotes, and we're gonna have a good time, because that's what we do. See us.